Two groups of stocks just handed investors the biggest opportunity of the entire year, and almost nobody's talking about it the right way. One group got smashed by 20% or more right after reporting earnings, even though artificial intelligence is quietly making their businesses stronger every single quarter. The other group is up 15, even 20% in a matter of days, because an entire industry just shifted gears into a new phase of growth. If you have money sitting in software stocks, or you have been eyeing space stocks and wondering why some are flying while others are falling, stay with me for the next few minutes, because by the end, you will understand exactly what is happening and which names deserve a second look. Before we go further, if you want more breakdowns like this every single week, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. It genuinely helps this channel keep bringing you research like this, and it takes 2 seconds. All right, let us get into it. We are going to split this into two worlds today. The first world is software, the companies building the tools that businesses use to run on artificial intelligence. Names like ServiceNow, Snowflake, Palantir Datadog, AppLovin, and Cloudflare. Almost all of these reported earnings this past week, and the reactions could not have been more different from one another. The second world is space, where SpaceX just posted its very first earnings report as a public company. And strangely enough, while SpaceX shares slipped, a handful of smaller space companies quietly took off. We will cover both, and by the end, I will tell you which stocks I am personally watching closely right now. Let us start with software. If you pulled up a 5-day chart on these 6 names this past week, you would see an incredible split. Palantir had one of the best single trading days in its entire history, jumping close to 30% after its earnings came out. Snowflake and Cloudflare managed modest gains, but Datadog and AppLovin both got hit hard, falling somewhere between 16 and 17% in just a few days. Now here's the interesting part. Cloudflare actually reported after the closing bell and jumped roughly 15 to 17% once the market digested the numbers, which tells you something important. This was not a broad sell-off across the entire sector. Investors were picking winners and punishing losers with a very fine comb. Zoom out to the full year and the gap gets even wider. Datadog is still up, close to 70% for the year, even after this week's drop. Snowflake and Cloudflare are both up over 40% year to date. Palantir, believe it or not, is still down for the year even after this week's massive rally, and ServiceNow is down more than 20%. AppLovin has lost half its value since January. So the real question every investor should be asking is simple. Which of these companies does artificial intelligence actually help, and which ones might it eventually replace? Palantir gave us a pretty clear answer this week. Revenue grew 93% year over year, nearly doubling from where it stood 12 months ago, and it beat what analysts were expecting. What really stood out was commercial revenue, the business coming from private companies rather than governments, which jumped almost 150%. Government contracts are naturally limited. There are only so many government agencies to sell to, but private sector demand is the real growth engine going forward, and right now that engine is running hot. Wall Street analysts are calling Palantir one of the clearest winners of this whole artificial intelligence build-out, and the market rewarded that with one of its best trading days ever. Now flip over to AppLovin, and you get a completely different story, even though the underlying business is still growing at a healthy clip. Revenue rose 53% year over year, and earnings per share came in almost exactly where analysts expected. So why did the stock fall nearly 20% in a single day? Because expectations had gotten so high that meeting the numbers was not enough anymore. Investors wanted the company to blow past estimates and raise guidance. And instead, management said the newest improvements to their advertising technology landed just after the quarter closed. In plain terms, they're telling you the good news is coming, it just was not ready in time to count in this particular report. That kind of timing gap can actually set up a strong bounce in the following quarter, because now the bar has been reset lower, and the improvements they mentioned should start showing up in the numbers. This actually points to something worth understanding about how companies manage earnings season. Sometimes a business delivers a perfectly fine quarter, strong revenue growth, solid margins, nothing broken. But because they have trained investors to expect miracles every single time, a merely good result gets treated like a disappointment. Management sometimes lets a product rollout slip a few weeks or frames a quarter conservatively, and the stock takes a hit purely on expectations rather than actual business health. Then a quarter or two later, when those delayed improvements finally show up, the company looks like it is staging a dramatic turnaround. Understanding this pattern is exactly how patient investors find bargains inside a panic. Datadog is a great example of that exact setup. The stock had already climbed over 100% this year heading into earnings, making it one of the strongest performers in the entire software space. Revenue came in around $1.1 billion, with earnings of 65 cents per share, both reasonable numbers, but because expectations were priced for perfection, the stock dropped anyway. Nothing about the actual business is falling apart here. This is a valuation reset, not a warning sign. What makes Datadog interesting long-term is that it sits right in the middle of one of the biggest shifts happening in corporate America right now. Companies moving from throwing unlimited money at artificial intelligence tools toward using those tools efficiently and tracking exactly what is working. Datadog's customer base, with contracts worth over $100,000 a year, grew from roughly 3,800 to 4,700 companies in just 12 months. And their leadership specifically pointed to helping businesses monitor and manage their AI systems as a major growth driver going forward. Then there is Cloudflare, which might be the most fascinating story of the entire group. Revenue grew about 36% year over year, and the company gave strong guidance for the upcoming quarter, which is exactly why the stock popped so sharply after hours. Cloudflare's leadership talked about something bigger than just their own numbers. They described the internet itself shifting toward AI-powered search and automated commerce driven by software agents rather than humans clicking around. Cloudflare sits right in the middle of that shift, essentially acting like a toll booth and traffic controller for this new machine-to-machine internet. That is a genuinely exciting long-term position to be in, though it does come at a premium price, so patience on entry points matters here. Now let us talk numbers for a second, because this is where you separate a good story from a good investment. Looking at expected revenue growth this year, Palantir leads the pack at around 61%, followed by AppLovin near 30%, Cloudflare around 29%, Snowflake around 28%, Datadog around 26%, and ServiceNow around 20%. When you look at profitability, Palantir and AppLovin stand out with strong operating margins, while Cloudflare and Snowflake are still running negative margins on a reported basis as they invest heavily in growth. Datadog sits closer to break even, which is part of why the market punished it so quickly when results were merely solid instead of spectacular. Putting growth and price together using a growth-adjusted valuation measure, ServiceNow actually looks like one of the cheapest names in this entire group relative to its growth rate, trading at just over 1x that adjusted ratio. AppLovin also looks inexpensive on this basis, given how fast it continues to grow. Palantir and Cloudflare both trade at much richer valuations, which makes sense given the excitement around them, but it also means the room for disappointment is smaller. If you are looking for value with real growth attached, ServiceNow and AppLovin deserve serious attention right now, while Datadog offers a nice middle ground of reasonable growth at a valuation that has finally come back down to earth after this week's pullback. All right, let us shift over to space, because something genuinely strange happened here this week that most financial news completely missed. SpaceX just delivered its first earnings report as a newly public company, and shares actually fell around 13%. But here's the twist. Smaller space. Companies like Rocket Lab, AST SpaceMobile, Intuitive Machines, and Planet Labs all jumped double digits in the very same week, completely disconnecting from SpaceX for the first time since its stock began trading. Rocket Lab climbed about 17%. AST SpaceMobile jumped roughly 13%. Intuitive Machines surged over 20%, and Planet Labs added around 11%, while SpaceX itself only managed a modest gain for the week despite that post-earnings drop. So what happened with SpaceX? On the surface, the results looked strong, revenue nearly doubled, and the company set new launch records. The real concern was spending. Capital expenditures jumped sixfold to roughly $18 billion in a single quarter, largely tied to building out data center infrastructure for artificial intelligence ambitions, well, beyond rockets and satellites. Investors are essentially watching SpaceX try to become two massive companies at once, a space launch giant and an artificial intelligence infrastructure player, and that kind of spending naturally raises questions about when it pays off. On top of that, this past week marked the very first lockup expiration for SpaceX. Shares, meaning early investors and employees, became eligible to sell a portion of their holdings for the first time, adding new supply to the market right at a moment when investors were already digesting a massive spending increase. More lockup periods are scheduled to expire over the next several months, which could continue to weigh on the stock, even if the underlying business keeps performing well. Meanwhile, the smaller space names are proving that this industry has real momentum completely independent of SpaceX's own struggles. AST SpaceMobile just added 3 new satellites to its direct-to-cell network through a SpaceX launch, bringing its total constellation to 13 satellites, and analysts are projecting revenue growth of well over 300% for the coming year after already growing over 1,000% the year before. Rocket Lab continues expanding its launch cadence with revenue growth expected around 43% this year. Intuitive Machines is projected to grow revenue over 70%, and Planet Labs around 32%. None of these companies are profitable yet on a bottom line basis, which is normal at this stage, but looking at gross margins tells you how healthy the underlying economics really are. SpaceX itself runs around 51% gross margin. Planet Labs is close behind, around 55%. AST. SpaceMobile is doing remarkably well for its size at around 44%. Rocket Lab sits around 36%, while Intuitive Machines lags the group at under 10%. On valuation, since most of these companies do not have meaningful earnings yet, price to sales is the better tool here. SpaceX trades at roughly 20 times sales, which is actually fairly reasonable for a company of its size and growth trajectory. Rocket Lab is priced much richer at over 60 times sales, reflecting just how much excitement surrounds its growth story. Intuitive Machines trades far cheaper, around 5.5 times sales, though its growth and margins do not yet justify chasing it aggressively. Planet Labs sits around 21 times sales. Rocket Lab remains a name worth watching closely, and if AST SpaceMobile keeps delivering that kind of explosive revenue growth, today's rich valuation could look like a bargain a year from now. One more thing worth mentioning before we wrap up, because it ties both of these stories together more than most people realize. Whether we are talking about software companies monitoring artificial intelligence agents or space companies building satellite networks, the common thread is infrastructure. The flashy headlines always go to whichever company just launched a new chatbot or announced a new rocket. But the real long-term money tends to flow toward the businesses quietly building the plumbing underneath all of it, the monitoring tools, the traffic routing, the satellite networks, the data centers. That is exactly why a name like Cloudflare or Datadog on the software side, and a name like Rocket Lab or AST SpaceMobile on the space side, can end up being far more resilient investments than the companies, making the loudest headlines. It is also why earnings season volatility, like we just saw this week, should be treated as a research opportunity rather than a reason to panic. When a fundamentally strong company drops 20% because expectations got ahead of reality, that gap between price and actual business performance is often where patient, long-term investors build positions that pay off for years rather than weeks. Here is the bigger takeaway from everything we just covered. A stock falling sharply after earnings does not automatically mean the business is in trouble, and a stock jumping sharply does not automatically mean it is safe from here. What actually matters is whether revenue growth is real, whether margins are improving, and whether the price you're paying today makes sense relative to where that growth is heading. Software names like ServiceNow, AppLovin, and Datadog got punished this week for reasons that have very little to do with their actual business health, while space names like Rocket Lab and AST SpaceMobile are showing that this industry is finally maturing beyond just SpaceX headlines. If this kind of breakdown helped you make sense of a confusing week in the market, do me a favor and drop a comment letting me know which of these stocks you are watching. Hit that like button so more people can find this kind of research, and share it with anyone you know who has money in tech or space stocks right now, because this is exactly the kind of information that gets lost in the noise of daily headlines. I go through moves like this every single week right here on TickerHawk, breaking down what actually matters instead of just chasing whatever is trending that day. Make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss the next one, because next week's earnings season is going to bring plenty more of these exact same setups, and getting ahead of them is where the real opportunity lives. Thanks for spending your time with me today, and I will see you in the next one.